morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, I've got very good news, and I've got very bad news. The good news is that Pikachu on the Ball is real. It is a real card that is actually out there and is starting to come around, and it is going to be distributed, it is going to be available. And the very bad news is that regular folks like you and I, there is an excellent chance we will never be able to actually get this card. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that sucks pretty hard. Now, this all comes around because an auction has gone up over on eBay with a Pikachu on the Ball promo card. And it's sealed in the same way that the other on the Ball promo cards are. It very much looks to be a real, authentic Pikachu on the Ball promo. It looks to be the very first one that has made it out. It has got the Pikachu on the Ball stamp on the back and all of that, in the same way that we would expect it to. It is very much a real card. And it has been listed for £1,000 as a starting bid. Now, the one saving grace for me here is that it's been up for a couple of days and no one's bid on it. I'm sorry, but firstly, they're actually charging you for delivery. Hey, pay £1,000 for this card, and then £225 a delivery. And also, in what world do you sell a card for £1,000 and not send it special delivery? No! No, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely not. This is not good. Boo! So the good news is it is a real card. Of course, this was, I think, supposed to be out by now. And it now is real. There were worries amongst some of the community that maybe it would never see the light of day. It is wonderful news that it is coming out. The problem is, it doesn't actually seem like it's going to be easy to get hold of, like, at all. And that's just rubbish, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely rubbish. Now, the way these are being distributed, if you run futsal clubs over in the UK, futsal's kind of like football with smaller, easier to control balls. You can apply to get one of these futsal kits. And you get yourself a bag with your Pikachu, and you get yourself a futsal painted like a Pokeball, etc., etc. And then you get, I think it's something along the lines of, the lovely Stephen Kent thinks it's going to be about 10 cards per team. So each team that gets these are going to get about 10 cards, and that's it. They're not being made available, as far as I am aware. This is it. This is the only way to get this card. And this creates a whole bunch of problems, because you're not going to be able to just go and get this card. You are going to either have to be a kid that goes to these things, or you are going to have to try and get one in some other way, which is, shall we say, a little bit awkward. Now, obviously, this is great for kids, and if you're part of this futsal club, yes, obviously, you should be getting one of these cards. The problem, and this is my worry, is exactly what's happening here. The person who has gotten a hold of this Pikachu card is clearly not some kid who's attending his local football club. And what they've done is gone, oh, Pokemon's popular right now. Hey, this is a very difficult to get promo. They've recognized what it is, and they've just gone and chucked it on eBay for £1,000. Now, there is hope here. The hope is very simple. The hope is that everybody goes, mate, we ain't paying £1,000 for that. Give over. And then they get listed for a more reasonable price. I will probably pay couple hundred quid for this card. I don't want to, but if I see eBay auctions along those lines, I will, because I want to complete the set. More on that in a moment. But there's no way I'm spending £1,000 on this card. No way I'm spending £1,000 on this card. I have a mortgage and 2 children. I ain't spending £1,000 on this card. And the worry is that some of these cards are going to get given to kids. That's obviously fine. We're not worried about that. but that the rest of them are basically just going to hit eBay and Facebook groups for absolutely ridiculous markups, safe in the knowledge that they can't be gotten elsewhere. Now, what was said when these were initially kind of revealed was that you could essentially go and enter online, and your youth futsal club could be in with a chance to receive an exclusive Pokemon bundle pack in the second year of the FA Pokemon Youth Futsal program. Cool. But we don't know how many of these are given out. There's probably going to be a few hundred. And there's going to be a few per team, and hopefully a bunch of teams. And I'm hoping that at least initially there are enough out there that this ends up being kind of a moot point. And that there are enough that they are sold for reasonable prices. Because it doesn't really seem like they're being given out anywhere else. And to be clear, this is really what we want. This is the ideal situation here. Is that we get these given out in some other way. That essentially Pokemon turn around and go, well, these cards are going to be too sought after. Maybe we try and stem the flow a little bit and make it a bit easier. Now, to be clear, when they announced this, they did say there are a total of 5 cards to be collected, 4 exclusive to game, and the 5th card from Pokemon and the FA will be made available at a later date to participants. And they did refer to the exclusive bundle, but I'm hoping that Pokemon can find a way to release this card in some other way, because actually it would be rubbish if we couldn't get it. And that's the thing, right? We've already had Eevee on the ball, Grookey on the ball, and Score Bunny on the ball that have been released over in game. I've picked all of those up. We know the last one's going to be Sobble on the ball. We saw this image super quickly, although it is interesting to note, if we compare the images, Eevee on here is wearing a red shirt, but the Eevee on the ball ended up with a white shirt. Score Bunny's wearing a yellow shirt, but Eevee on the ball ended up with a red shirt. Grookey does actually not just keep the shirt, but the pose. It's weird that Eevee and Score Bunny look very different, so does Pikachu, to this promo image here. And yet Grookey has basically just been copied and pasted on. So it remains to be seen how exactly Sobble's going to look. But we haven't seen a yellow-shirted Pokemon, so I'm hoping Sobble does come through with the yellow shirt. This is going to be released in-game, probably in the not-too-distant future. There was an 8-month gap between Grookey and Score Bunny. But the fact that we've now opened up post-Dan Pennick, I mean, it's not really post-Dan Pennick, but, you know, everywhere's opening up again. I'm hoping that means that the Score Bunny coming around was the start of the end, so to speak, as in we're going to be getting Sobble pretty soon. But then we're still left with the question of the Pikachu. And let's be clear, as it stands at the moment, nothing else has been announced. The only way to go and get this Pikachu is to be part of a futsal club, and to actually get it as part of said futsal club. That's the only way it's being distributed. It's the only way you can actually go and get it. And that's really sad. And it is very expensive. But the thing to remember is, this is the first one. And the first one, people are always trying their luck a little bit. People are always listing it for a bit too much. I don't think this is going to sell for £1,000. And if it does, they won't all. Like, even if this one sells for £1,000, they're not all going to sell for that much. As more get listed, people are going to lower their prices to try and make sure they get a sale. It's also up to us, of course. I mean, if they start listing for £1,000 and everyone starts paying £1,000, then yeah, people will. People absolutely will keep listing it for £1,000, and if people keep paying it, that's what we're all going to end up having to pay. But I'm very much thinking and hoping that's not going to be the case. As it stands, hold your horses. There is so much we don't know. We don't know how many of them are out there. We don't know exactly when these are going to start actually really going out there properly. We don't know how much they are going to settle at. And we don't know. There is still a chance, and I think it probably borders on unlikely, but there is still a chance that we end up seeing this given out in some other way. And I really sincerely hope that that is what ends up happening. Because they can still give this cool promo away to kids, but then they can destroy the value of it on the secondary market, and I would be absolutely delighted if they did. So that's what we know, ladies and gentlemen, but now I want to hear from you guys. I want to know if you are going to be trying to pick up this card. I want to know how much you would be willing to pay for it. I want to know if you are in the lucky position of actually being able to find one of these. Go nuts, but be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.